guys, hope you're doing really well. Welcome to Mritu's POV. I know it's been quite some time since I showed up here, and that's probably because I lacked managing time. Because I don't think it's the right thing to say that I didn't have time, because I think I did, but it's just that it's been too busy with all the work, with all the household chores, and it's just life. I think it's just going so fast with the time, and sometimes I wonder why is time so going so fast. I mean, can you relate? But I think when I look back right now with all the 6 months that has passed by, because I just feel like I was wishing everyone happy new year for 2024, and today I feel like 6 months just ran off. But I personally do think that I have accomplished certain things, maybe the small goals that really have brought a big impact. And I think one of them has to be starting a YouTube video, because that really helped me stop procrastination and I think move one step ahead from overthinking. But more on that later. Today, we are here to talk about how I landed up in Mexico. I don't even know if all of you know that I'm in Mexico right now, and it's not like a huge story, but I do feel like I should talk about how the transition of being a pure Indian extrovert girl and how the journey has completely changed after I moved to a whole different country with like no base information about that country, or like literally no idea of moving here at all. So let's talk about it now. So, how did I land up in Mexico out of all the countries? So, long story short, I got married to my best friend for 9 years. We've been dating, and then we had a beautiful wedding, and we'll talk more about that later. But I think the reason I moved here is for my husband's work. So, I moved here about a year ago from today, and it was quite a journey, because when I initially moved here, I was this typical Desi Indian girl who has been to various states because my father was in the military. And suddenly, when I was told that I'm going to go to this whole new foreign country, which I've never dreamt of, never wanted to, never had that kind of dreams at all in the first place. But after coming here, I was super shocked with the culture. Not because I cannot adapt to it, but it was because the kind of people here were super sweet, they're amazing, but the biggest barrier I had was the language. So nobody in Mexico speaks English, and I was super shocked. I don't know how many of you already knew that, who's watching right now, but nobody speaks English. And although we are probably just 2 hours away from the US by flight, nobody speaks English. And I was super shocked, because I am a person who's like this typical ambivert or extrovert who needs people around, who needs that sound, who needs to talk to people. And in the first few months, I think I was definitely very upset. Definitely, I don't want to call it depressed, but I think I was extremely upset. Although I had a very supportive husband, although like we both had a lot of fun knowing each other more, as a couple, as a married couple. But one thing that was lagging was having friends or having people to talk to, because for even the basic things that I had to ask, I had to literally use a Google Translator, which was like downloaded on my phone. And that was something which was kind of a struggle. It was a huge struggle. So one part was the kind of loneliness that I started finding myself in, and every time I would want to talk to my friends, time differences was a very big deal. So catching up with my friends about my feelings was another trauma altogether. But like I said, the only good thing was being with my partner. But other than that, I don't think I had any friends. I didn't have anyone to talk to. But more than that, I also think when it comes to food, although I was living alone when I was in college, I used to cook my own food and all of that, but that was like a survival food. But now being together, me and my partner together learned a lot of ways of cooking, and we got better and all of that. But when we had to go out, we struggled a lot with finding the right kind of food because if you know Mexico, it is famous for tacos. And the first time I had taco, I almost puked. I'm not even kidding, because uh, here the kind of food that I had, like when I initially came, was very bland for me. And I'm a person who eats a lot of spicy food, just like any other Indian, most of the Indians at least. And then I lacked flavor. I lacked like a lot of spices, and I think I complained almost every day of my 6 months. But I didn't want to waste those 6 months. Number one, I say this because I am an interior designer by profession and education, and after I came here, I couldn't find a job in my field because we need Spanish to talk to the vendors and everything. So that was a huge deal. So finding job was more than challenging. But I want to make a separate video on that later. But that was another challenge. So other than this, I felt like, is this what it's gonna be like? And I kept telling my partner how I want to move back to India. This is not happening. But all he said was, give it some time, and if it still doesn't work out, we are gonna leave. But with time, things started changing, and I'm going to talk more about it probably in another video where I specifically target on certain parts of my journey. But long story short, I think with time, I think like few months ago, at least like 6 months ago, I found an amazing job, and that job helped me break all my challenges, because the moment I started going to this workplace, I started making a lot of friends, I started meeting people, and now I started loving this place. Why? Because now I had the kind of setting where I could start exploring Mexico. I started talking to them, I started learning the language instead of complaining about it. And I think I also started to make peace with the fact that not all places that you will be led to or wherever you go is going to be as comfortable as you think it should be. Because being a kid from a household where the father has always traveled around places, and where I have always had to change my group of friends, or the group of people and culture, I think that has helped me now as an adult to be able to adopt to new culture, a new setting, but also be very patient in this process, because I think moving abroad is definitely not easy. And especially for people like me who are used to a certain setting and who kind of have the right kind of people back at home. So I think the key is to have an open mind where you, I don't know, start manifesting this kind of possibility that things are going to work out, be it work, be it friendships, be it relationships, be it different places. So now me and my partner have made a thing that we travel more, because we are here, there are a lot of tourist spots around. So we are trying to I think make our own happiness with what we have. Because when today I see so many of my friends and so many of people who are actually struggling to be where we are at, I think I somewhere feel maybe I'm not embracing where we are at, or maybe I'm just looking at just the negative things, but trying to suppress all the good things that comes with this kind of an experience. Because today I'm working with all the people from diverse cultures. I'm working with people from America. I'm working with people with Europe, Russia, and I have so many team members from literally different countries. And there's so much to learn from each of them. And as long as I have this opportunity, I think I have made up my mind to start accepting it and make peace with it, and just take all the good learnings from there. So what I'm trying to say from this video, I know you're going to think about that. One thing is my experience, and second thing is not to give up too soon when you're away from home. I know there's a lot of comfort back at home. You have parents, you have friends. I have literally thought about this multiple times, and somewhere today I think that I have come to this place where I think our parents, our friends are always going to be there, and it's always easy to go back to this place from where you have come from. So, as long as you have this opportunity, I hope that we can make use of it and probably somehow find that little peace with what we have. Thank you for listening to my experience, and I want to talk more, but this is it for today, and stay tuned.